On the day Ethan Moore and I are supposed to marry, his adoptive sister, Hazel Moore, threatens to jump off a building. Ethan abandons me in my wedding dress and leaves me jilted for her. As the guests watch me mockingly, I boldly announce, "I'll marry anyone who dares walk down this aisle to me." 3 years later, Ethan returns to the Moore residence with Hazel. I'm seated on the couch and enjoying some oatmeal while watching TV. Ethan stares at my baby bump and snarls, "Who's the father of that child in your belly?" I sip my oatmeal and smile faintly. A member of the Moore family, of course. Ethan Moore stormed over, his face twisted with rage as he yanked me off the couch. Shameless! I left with Hazel on our wedding day. I haven't stepped foot in this place for 3 years. How could that child in your belly be mine? I almost laughed. I never said it was his. He wasn't the only man in the Moore family. Of course, it's not your child. You're not even worthy of being his father, I said. Hazel Moore's face twisted in shock. Audrey Smith, even if Ethan ran away from the wedding, he still left you with the title of Mrs. Moore. You've been living a life of luxury in the Moore family. How could you shamelessly get pregnant with someone else's child? I glanced at her. You're the adopted daughter of the Moore family, and you had the nerve to seduce your own brother. If we're talking about being shameless, who could possibly beat the two of you? Hazel's voice turned pitiful as she looked at Ethan. Ethan, for the past 3 years, we've kept things respectful, yet she's carrying someone else's child and cheated on you. The moment he heard her words, Ethan's fury exploded. He raised his hand and slapped me hard across the face. "You filthy woman! You get knocked up by someone else and still dare to drag me and Hazel into it? Get out now!" he shouted. The sharp pain bloomed across my cheek. My head went blank for a second from the force of the slap. Ethan ran off with Hazel 3 years ago, leaving me alone to face all the whispers and laughter at our wedding. Driven by rage, I called for a groom on the spot. It was his uncle, Jeremiah Moore, who stepped up and married me that same day. In Beaverton City, Jeremiah was known as the Frost King. Everyone has treated me with the utmost respect ever since I married him. After I got pregnant, he spoiled me even more. He wouldn't let a strand of my hair be harmed. Blood would have been spilled if he had known what Ethan had just done. To avoid a full-blown family tragedy, and for the sake of the child in my belly, I said coldly, "If you both leave now, I'll pretend this never happened." However, they didn't appreciate the offer. Hazel lunged forward and yanked my hair. "Ethan, this woman is scared. She wants us to leave now so she can use that child to take everything from the Moores." Ethan snapped, "So that's what this is about? Well, I'm not letting it happen." I twisted away from Hazel's grip and said coldly, "David disowned you the day you two ran off. You had nothing to do with this family from that moment on." Hazel let out a scoff. "That was just Grandpa venting. Ethan's the only grandson of the Moore family. Do you really think he's going to stay disowned forever?" Ethan's expression turned smug. "Grandpa already said everything belongs to me." I placed a hand over my belly, my voice icy. "Not anymore. This child is also a member of the Moore family." I thought I'd made myself perfectly clear. However, Ethan's eyes flared with rage as he stared at me. "So you're planning to pass that illegitimate child off as a Moore? I'll teach you a lesson now." His slap landed even harder this time. I clutched my belly as I collapsed to the floor. Upon seeing the twisted hatred on their faces, panic surged inside me. I couldn't let them hurt the baby. I said desperately, "He is not an illegitimate child. He is..." Before I could say another word, Ethan bent down and grabbed the shattered porcelain bowl of oatmeal off the floor. He shoved the shards and oatmeal straight into my mouth. "Hazel and I have struggled to survive for the past 3 years, yet you've been leeching off the Moore family, living in comfort with that child in your